Hello everyone, it's Michael again. So today we are going to learn how to create a static website for the cafe. So for the scenario, Frank and Martha are a husband and wife team who own and operate a small coffee business that sells desserts and coffee. Their daughter Sophia and their other employee Nikki, who is a secondary school student, also work at the cafe. The cafe has a single location in a large city. The cafe currently doesn't have a marketing strategy. They mostly gain new customers when someone walks by, notices the cafe, and decides to try it. The cafe has a reputation for high quality desserts and coffees, but their reputation is limited to people who have visited or people who have heard about them from their customers. Sophia suggests to Frank and Martha that they should expand community awareness of what the cafe has to offer. The cafe doesn't have a web presence yet, and it doesn't currently use any cloud computing services. However, that situation is about to change. So for this lab overview and objectives, in this lab, you're going to use Amazon Simple Storage Service, Amazon S3, to build a static website and implement architectural best practices to protect and manage your data. After completing this lab, you should be able to host a static website by using Amazon S3. Implement one way to protect your data with Amazon S3. Implement data lifecycle strategy in Amazon S3. Implement a disaster recovery DR strategy in Amazon S3. At the end of this lab, your architecture is going to look something like the below example. So we have AWS Cloud, Region 1, Amazon S3 Buckets, Region 2. And this is our website. Note that in this challenge lab, you will encounter a few tasks where step-by-step instructions are not provided. You must figure out how to complete the task on your own. So this lab is about 60 minutes or an hour. Okay. So let's see. A business request for the cafe, launching a static website, challenge 1. So Sophia mentioned to Nikki that she would like the cafe to have a website that will visually showcase the cafe's offering. It would also provide customers with business details such as the location of the store, business hours, and telephone number. Nikki is happy that he was asked to create the first website for the cafe. For this first challenge, you will take on the role of Nikki and use Amazon S3 to create a basic website for the cafe. Task 1. Extracting the files that you need for this lab. So in this task, you will extract the files that you need to create the static website. So download the zip file you need for this lab by opening this S3 link. Awesome, it is downloaded. So on your computer, extract the files. Notice that you have the index.html file and two folders that contain the cascading style sheets, CSS, and image file. So I'll just go to open. Okay. So I go to leave it right there for now. So it's to have the HTML files right here, index.html files, and the other folders contain the CSS and image files. So for task 2, creating an S3 bucket to host your static website. In this task, you will create an S3 bucket and configure it to host your static website. Open the Amazon S3 console. Let's go to S3 console. Create a bucket to host your static website. Okay, so create a bucket in the North Virginia US East 1 AWS regions. So Virginia US East 1, that's a bucket that we wanna use. So create the bucket. We're going to create bucket. It's going to be on US East, North Virginia, US East 1 regions. Tip: you must disable block or public access. Okay, where is it? Disable block or public access. Okay. Enable static website hosting on your bucket. Enable the static website hosting. You will need to use HTML5 for your index document. So we need to enable static website hosting on the bucket. Enable static website. Enable static website hosting. Site website hosting on your bucket. You will use index.html5 for your index document. So we need to enable static website hosting on the bucket. Static website hosting. So this is our region. So how to enable static website on S3 bucket. So choose property. We have property here. So what's the name of this bucket? Extracting the file that you need. Extracting the file that you need for this lab. Okay. Open this Amazon S3 console. We create the bucket in here. Tip: you must disable everything. Enable static website hosting on your bucket. You will use HTML index.html file for your index document. Uploading the content to your S3 bucket. So I want to call the bucket. I want to call it my static website. Okay, let's create the bucket. Bucket with same names already exist. So my static coffee website. Okay, awesome. It's created. So I'm going to go to my static coffee website. Maybe go to properties. Go to properties. Right here it say like in the bucket list, choose the name of the bucket that you want to enable elastic website. Choose a property under static website hosting to edit static website hosting. Choose property under static website hosting. Let's see static website. Oh, right here, static website hosting. Edit it and enable. Nice. Choose this bucket to host website. This bucket to host website. Specify the home or default page of the website. It will be index.html. Okay, let's go back. Provide your own customer error. We don't have that. Choose save change. Save change. Okay, so they want us to enable the static websites hosting on the bucket. You will use index.html5 for your index document. So we just did that. Now task 3 is uploading content to your S2 bucket. In this task, you will upload the static file to your S2 bucket. Upload the index.html5, CSS, and images folder to your S2 bucket. In a separate web browser tab, open the endpoint link for your static website. Okay, so how to upload content to your S3 bucket. Let's go to Google and how to uploading content to your S2 bucket. So upload an object. Just upload objects, upload folder. On the left, a navigation pane, choose bucket. In the bucket list, choose the name of the bucket that you want to upload your folder or file to choose, and just choose upload. Okay. The object, right here. I will use upload and first add file. Is it in download? Was it in download? Well, it was somewhere around here. Let's see. Open it. It's in here. Oh, we have that. Move to trust. Right here. So I'm gonna drop it in here. Oh, where is it? Drop the CSS. Drop the image. Oh wow. Okay, let's see. Upload it. Awesome. Close it. Now go to property. Go to the website. It's forbidden. In this task, you will upload the static files to your SD bucket. Upload the index.html files and CSS images folder to your SD bucket in a separate website browser tab. Open the endpoint link to your static website. It is forbidden for now. Let me see how to fix this 3 bucket. Permission. Bucket policy. So to grant the public read access for your website, copy the following public policy and paste it inside the bucket policy editor. All right. my bucket name is right here. So in here I have to change my bucket name. Let's see. Yep, my bucket name. Alright. To save changes. Okay, so it's working now. Awesome. Let's go back. Open the endpoint link for static file, so it's working. Answer the questions about the lab. Answers will be recorded when you choose the blue submit button. Answers will be recorded when you choose the blue submit button above at the end of the lab. Access the questions in this lab by clicking detail in menu and then choose show. Okay, so we go to detail, show. So cloud access, cloud lab. So access multiple choice question. Choose access multiple choice question linked up here at the bottom of the page. In the page that you loaded, answers the first questions. Question 1: when viewing the website after task 3, do you see the page in the browser? Query bucket policies. So when viewing the page after task 3, you see the browser. No, it's not publicly accessible. Oh wait. To detail again, so multiple choice question. No. Question 2: what is other way to ensure maximum protection and prevent? So after task 3, let me see. Uploading content. No, after task 3 we did not able to do it. I need to go extra step to grant a new policy to have public access. What is another way to ensure maximum protection and prevent accidental deletion of a preserved versions? So another way to ensure maximum protection and prevent accidental deletions of a preserved version is we're going to use a bucket policy. Do you see the objects from your source? Do you see the objects from your source bucket in the destination bucket? Do you see the objects? Do you see the objects from your source bucket in the destination bucket? So answer your question about the lab. Leave the question web page open in your browser tab. You will return to it later in this lab. Okay. So create a bucket policy to grant public read access. So Frank shared his plan to create many new types of pastries for the cafe. You realize that you will need to upload an image for each new dessert that he creates and enable public access on that object. You don't want to do this process manually. Instead, you decide to create a bucket policy that automatically makes each object public when it's uploaded to the folder. So create a bucket policy that grants read only permission to public anonymous user by using bucket policy editor. Grant read only permission to anonymous user. So require encryption, require SSE, KMS for our object to read into a bucket. Okay. Let's see. Wait. So where we are right here. So creating a bucket policy. We're going to creating a bucket policy to grant a public um read access. So create a bucket policy that grant read only permission to public anonymous user by using bucket policy editor. Bucket policy, we want to edit it. This is allow all access, but what we want is here that you say that you will need to upload an image for each dessert that he create and enable public access on that object. You don't want to do this manually and instead decide to create a bucket policy that automatically make each object public when it's uploaded to the folder. So we're going to create a public policy that grant read only permission to public anonymous user by using bucket policy editor. Confirm that the website cafe is not publicly accessible. Read only. Alright. So granting a read only permission to anonymous user. Right here. So you can use policy setting to grant access to public anonymous user, which is useful if you are configuring your buckets as a static website. This requires you to disable block public access to your bucket. For more information on how to do this and the policy required, go there. To learn more how to set up restrictive policies for the same purpose, you can see go there. By default, Amazon S3 block public access to Amazon S3 block public access to your account and buckets. If you want to use a bucket to host a static website, you can use these steps to edit your block public access setting. Warning: before you complete this step, review the block public access to your Amazon S3 storage to ensure that you understand and accept the risk involved in allowing public access. When you turn off block public access setting to make your bucket public, anyone on the internet can access to your bucket. We recommend that you block all public access to your bucket. So what we need to do is just open this S3 console right here that we have. Okay. And then choose the name of the bucket that you have configured as static website and choose permission. So this, and choose permission. And under block public access, bucket setting to edit and clear block all public access and to save changes, which we already did here. We clear access and save change. We already did that. Go back. Clear all the block and save change we already did. Okay. So require encryption. Okay. That's pretty much it. Require encryption. We don't need to require encryption in here. Let's see. Go back. What is this? They're asking. Confirm that the website for the cafe is now publicly accessible. Congratulations. You now have a static website for the cafe. Interesting. Let's just go back. Go here. Get policy. Grant read-only permission to anonymous user. And we already did all of that. Okay. New business requirement protecting website data challenge 2. So you show Sophia the new website and she is very impressed. Good job. Let's go back. Right here. You and Sophia discussed that you will likely need to make many updates to the website as the number of cafe offering expands. Olivia, an Amazon and AWS solution architect and cafe regular, advised you to implement a strategy to prevent accidental overwrite and deletion of website objects. You already need to make some changes to the website, so you decide that this would be a good time to explore objects versioning. So, task 5 is enabling versioning on the S3 bucket. So in this task, you will enable versioning on your S3 bucket and confirm that it works. So in S3 console, enable versioning of your S3 bucket. Okay, so what I want to do is Google how to enable versioning on S3 bucket. So in the bucket list, choose the name of the bucket that you want to enable versioning. Choose property. Under bucket versioning, choose edit and choose either suspend or enable, and then choose save changes. So in bucket and then in property. All right. Okay. So back to the buckets property and bucket versioning right here. Enable it, save change. So now we enable it successfully. Edit bucket versioning. Awesome. Notice that after you enable versioning, you can't disable it. In your favorite text editor, open HTML index.html5, for example. You could use Notepad or text Wrangler and modify it. Okay. So I'm probably going to open VS Code. And then open new. No. Open a new window. And what I want to do is I got to put the index.html in here. And then change it to access. Want to access file managed by iCloud Drive. Okay. So what I want to do is modify the file according to the following instructions. So locate the first line that has embedded CSS code in HTML and change it to gains BG color. BG's color. So we only have two there right here. Locate the first line that's an embedded BG color, aquamarine, the first line. That's the first line. And change it to gains borrow. Locate the line that has embedded BG color orange and change it to cone silk. BG color orange, change it to cone silk. Locate the second line that have this color, change it to Gainsborough again. Gainsborough, okay. And save the changes. Save the change. Upload the file to S3 bucket. Okay. Let me save it. Site website. Replace it. Awesome. Upload the updated file to your S3 bucket. Reload the website browser tab within your browser and notice the change. To see the latest version of your HTML file, go to the bucket and choose a version list. You should see both versions of this. Oh, what is going on? What happened? Terminal. Oh. Refresh this. see. Terminal. Okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is go back here, upload my file. Where is it? What's my file? Start websites right here. Object. Upload. Add file. Download. I have right here index HTML. Uploaded. Yes. Go back to the cafe. See the changes. Yep. So this is the original color, orange, and this got a greenish color. Now change this color. Okay. Awesome. So reload the website to see the changes. To see the latest version of the HTML index HTML5, go to your bucket and choose list versions. Okay. Buckets list version. Nope, I don't see any list version management then. Access point, permission, list version. Where is it? Go to bucket again. List version. Property, bucket version, and right here. List versions. Okay, maybe it's list. Oh, so version right here. We have list versions. I see. Cool. We have a list of versions right here. There's two different one. Okay, cool. You should see both. In this the drop down menu. Return to the browser tab with multiple choice question for this lab and answer the following question. Question 2. What is another way to ensure maximum protection and prevention of accidental deletions of preserved versions? Question 2. Cross-region replication multiply What is another way to ensure maximum protection and prevent accidental deletions and of preserved versions? Cross regions, replication, multi-factor authentication, cross origins, resource sharing, bucket policy. Is it bucket policy? Let's see. To make sure, let me Google it to make sure it's the right one. Let's we go to Google bar. Make sure that's the correct answer. So the answer is cross-region replications. Cross-region replication to ensure maximum protection and prevention of accidental deletions of preserved versions. And here is why. So it's the most effective option for preventing accidental deletion of preserved versions. Here is was because geographically separated backup is automatically copies objects across multiple AWS regions, creating redundant copy in physical distinct location. Even if a disaster or error strike in one region, your data remain intact in another. Independent data protection. Each region has its own access controls and security measures, reducing the likelihood of a single point of failure. Enhance the resilience is safeguard against regional outage or disruption, ensuring continuous data availability. Okay, so it's the cross-region replications is one of the best ways to maximize protection, prevent accidental deletion of the preserved versions. Because when we have a cross-version replication, we have a copies of our versions on different regions. So in case that didn't happen in one region, it still have a copy on another one. I see. Let's go back. So architecture best practice. In this task, you use one technique to implement architecture best practice of protecting your data. I expand here to learn more about it. So according to the well-architected framework, versioning can be part of a larger data lifecycle management process. Before you architect any system, foundational practices that influence security should be in place. For example, data classification provides a way to categorize organizational data based on levels of sensitivity. Encryption protects data by rendering it unintelligible to unauthorized access. These tools and techniques are important because they support objectives such as preventing financial loss or complying with regulatory obligations. Um, So new business requirement optimizing cost of S3 object storage, challenge 3. Now that you enable versioning, you realize that the size of the S3 bucket will continue to grow as you upload new objects and versions. To save cost, you decide to implement a strategy to retire some of the older versions. So task 6, setting lifecycle policy. In this task, you will set a lifecycle policy to automatically move older versions of the objects in your source bucket to S3 standard infrequent access S3 standard IA. The policy should also eventually expire object. The policy should also eventually expire the object. And so what we need to do is we're going to configure to root in the website bucket lifecycle configuration to receive full credit. To receive the full credit, create two separate rules. Do not configure to transition in one rule. So we don't configure the two transition in one rule. So in one rule, move the previous versions of all source bucket object to S3 standard IA after 30 days. In one rule, move the previous versions of all source bucket to S3 30 days. Okay. Where is it? In one rule, so configure rules. Set in life cycle policy S3. Okay. So in management tabs, we want to create lifecycle rule. Enter the rule name. So in one rule, move the previous versions of all source bucket objects to S3 standard IA after 30 days. So what I'm gonna call this, I want to call it rule 1. Rule 1. And what I wanted to do with this, for rule 1, move the previous versions of all source buckets objects to S3 standard IA after 30 days. Move previous versions of all buckets objects to S3 standard IA. S3 standard IA. Move previous versions of our resource bucket hint, if you get stuck, refer to the AWS documentation for guidance. Note, to limit the scope of replication to particular bucket objects, for example, the index HTML5, create a tag for the object before you create lifecycle rule. Managing your storage lifecycle to manage your objects so that you are store. First, the one rule is move previous versions of all source bucket objects to S3 standard IA. Previous versions of all objects to S3 standard IA. S3 standard IA. Days after objects become non-current. 30 days. What does it say right here? Move previous versions of all source bucket objects to S3 standard IA after 30 days. So after 30 days, number of new version to return. Yep, that's pretty much it. That's what they want. So create the first rule. Key tag. You can limit the scope of this value pair. Remove tag. We don't need tag, right? Add filter. Apply to all objects in the bucket. Yep, that's what they asking. Apply to all objects in the buckets right here. All source bucket objects. So, create rule. Transition to standard IA. That's rule 1. Rule 2. Delete previous version of objects after 365 days. Second rule. Yep, apply to all. Mm, 365 day after objects become non-current. Number of new version to retain. No, that's it. So I'm going to call it rule 2. Create rule. Cool. Good. You should now have a lifecycle configuration that will move previous versions of your source bucket as object to S3 standard IA after 30 days. The policies will also permanently delete the objects that are in S3 standard IA after 365 days. Architecture best practice. In this task, you implement the architecture best practice of defining data life cycle management. Click here to learn more about it. According to well-architected framework, in practice, your lifecycle strategy should be based on the critically and sensitively of your data and legal and organizational requirement. You should consider factors such as data retention, duration, data destruction, data access management, data transformation, and data sharing. New business requirement, enhancing durability and planning for DR challenge 4. The next time Olivia comes to the cafe, you tell her about the update to the website. You describe the measures that you took to protect the website static files from being accidentally overwritten or deleted. Olivia tell you that cross-region replication is another feature of Amazon S3 that you can also use to back up and archive critical data. So Task 7 is enabling cross-region replication. In this task, you will enable cross-region replication on your source S3 bucket. In a different regions than your source bucket, create a second bucket and enable versioning on it. The second bucket is your destination bucket. Okay. So in a different regions rather than your source bucket, create a second bucket and enable versioning on it. The second bucket is your destination bucket. So what I want to do is I'm going to go back to bucket to create another bucket. Go into different regions. So let's see. I want to choose the West, US West 1. My destination bucket. Copy setting from existing bucket. Only the bucket setting in the following configuration. I'll copy. Similar to other one. Use my poke link. Bucket versioning enable. Let's see what they want us to do. So in a different region rather than your source bucket, create a second bucket and enable versioning on it. The second bucket is your destination bucket. So bucket versioning enable. Copy setting of existing bucket optional. Only the bucket setting in the following configuration. So I want to copy the configurations of my main bucket. Alright, go to create the bucket. Oh, already exists. So, but so my cafe website 2. Alright, this is my second one. So what do we need to do? On your source S3 bucket, enable cross region replication. When you create the replication rule, make sure that that's destination bucket, this is source bucket, replicate the entire source bucket. So AWS S3 enable cross replication. Let me go back to my website. Manage. Create Boolean replication rule right here. Cross origin resource sharing. No, not that one. It's going to enable cross regions. Alright. How to enable in S3. For bucket. So replicate the entire source bucket. They want to replicate everything, so server-side encryption protect data at rest. So for protection, replication might increase the number of as requests you will make in source and destination. That's for encryption. We don't need that for this lab. Change storage class. Change storage class for the replicate objects. Destination storage class changes. So apply to all objects in the bucket. Use cafe row for the AWS identity and access management IAM. This IAM row gives the Amazon S3 the permission to read objects from the source bucket and replicate them to the destination bucket. If you encounter if if you encounter if you encounter the warning, the replication rule is safe, but it might not work, you can ignore it and proceed to the next step. If you encounter warning, replication rule is safe. Hint: if you get stuck, refer for guidance. Note: Cafe Row has the following permission. These access policies allow Row to perform the replication task on all S3 bucket. In a real production environment, you should restrict policies to apply only to your source and destination S3 bucket. For more information, right here. So, on the save. You can enable one-time batch operation jobs from this replication configuration to replicate object that already exists to synchronize the sources bucket. Existing objects, yes. Nope. This is create batch jobs. No, only that. Return to the browser tab with multiple choice question for this lab and answer the following question. Do you see the object from your source bucket? Do you see the objects from your source bucket in the destination bucket? Of course. Do you see the objects from your source bucket in the destination bucket? Yes. Do you see the objects from your source bucket in the destination bucket? No, I don't see it. Wait, yeah. Click in here. I don't see any objects in here. Yeah. Make a minor change to index.html, upload the new version to your source bucket. Verify that the source bucket now has 2 versions. Okay. So what we're going to do is welcome to hello to just change welcome to hello and save it. Replace. Go to website, upload again. So version, look at 3 version right here. Go back. Make a minor change to the index.html file and upload the new versions to your source bucket. Verify that the source bucket now has 2 versions. Yes. Confirm that the new object was replicated to your destination bucket. You might need to reload the browser tab. Oh, right here. I see it. It's so right here. Nice. Confirm the new object was replicated to the destination bucket. You might need to reload your browser. Go to your source bucket and delete the deleted version. Return to the browser tab. Return to the browser tab with multiple choice. Was the version that you just deleted from your source bucket also deleted? Go to your source bucket and delete the deleted versions. Let's see. Go back to my source bucket right here and delete HTML, index.html. Action, delete it right here. Delete object, bucket. Go here. Refresh. It's still here. It doesn't get deleted. Go back to the source bucket. Is this deleted? Go back again to the destinations bucket. It's still here. They do not get deleted. What's the versions? Was the version that you just deleted from your source bucket also deleted from your bucket, for your destination bucket? No. Okay. Cool. Architecture best practice. In this task, you implemented the architecture best practices of automating disaster recovery. Good, clear to know about it. According to the well-architected framework, the start of your DR strategy is having backup and redundant workload component in place. You should use AWS or third-party tool to automate system recovery and automate traffic to the DR site or regions. Awesome. And that is pretty much it. Let's check something. So submit it. Submit that. Submit that. Submit that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this is at the end of this lab. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.